and shed a tear, waiting for you long time, baby, was so hard for me to do. You said me and you forever will be one, but now you're gone, and I still remember, cannot forget the brightness of your smile, soft embraces, look into your eyes, the whisper in my ear, waiting for you long time, baby, was so hard for me to do. You said me and you forever will be one, but now you're gone. Waiting for you long time, baby, was so hard for me to do. Oh no, me and you forever will be one, but now you're gone. One, but now you're gone.
Figure wait till the neighbor's done shooting. So welcome back everyone, Mike here. It is another beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. It's kind of a relaxing day really. We're just all kind of tinkering around here a little bit, but it is getting pretty warm right now, so I think I'm going to get in the MX 5400, turn the air conditioning on, do a little brush hogging. I think that's next on the agenda. I filled up another firewood tote. The guy that bought 2 baskets the other night, I got those 2 back, so I left one over there for Melissa. I'm sure she wants to do one. And then after the brush hogging, I'm not sure what I'll get into, but we'll find out. By the way, this basket here is a mix of oak and cherry, just a little bit of maple in there as well. I call this 3-touch firewood. That's about the best you can do with that. And what I mean is we touch it when we pick it up off the ground after we cut it and, you know, throw it in the firewood bucket or the Ranger. Touch it when you pick it up and put it on the Wolfe ridge, and touch it a 3rd time when you put it in the basket. Now that's the last time we'll have to touch that firewood. Whoever buys it, they'll be taking care of it after that. 3-touch firewood. Oh, and also, trust me, this will eventually be a woodshed. Right now it's looking more like an equipment shed, but it will definitely be a woodshed. You hear them guys shooting. Everybody's been shooting, target shooting all the time now. It's kind of nice. I don't mind hearing it. We do our fair share. I was just telling them everyone's been doing a lot of shooting lately. How's it going, Archie? Yep. What do you think, Piper? Piper's not a fan of,
Archie was like, what's going on?
what do you think, Arch? He doesn't care, huh?
No. Not my baby Archie. My baby Piper. Oh, somebody's jealous. Okay, do you know what you call this?
What?
Oop. Baby's ready for a nap.
They say you have a relaxed dog if you can hold it upside down, right?
Oh, absolutely.
He's pretty relaxed.
Hello. He is.
Brush hogging along the sides of the driveway here by my mom's place. Actually, this driveway right here that I'm on, this goes to my sister's house, which was the old homestead here originally. You probably know if you've been following our channel, our property that Melissa and I bought maybe 25 years ago, something like that, it joins my mother's place. But anyway, I'm just cleaning up the edges of the driveway here, and then I'm going to head up to the old apple orchard and do some brush hogging up there. And I saw one fawn so far. It wasn't right along the driveway. It was right across the creek, but it got up and ran, which is a good sign. You got to be really careful this time of year. But yeah, they're cute little buggers. Yeah. I just saw a deer down there. It ran up that way. I didn't get the camera on in time. But anyway, I got everything mowed up here. It looks pretty good. It wasn't that long ago I was up here. That grew pretty fast this time. Now I think we should answer some comments. That's what we're going to do right now. Answer comments. So we do our best to respond to as many comments as we can and answer as many questions as we can, but we can't get to them all. So I was thinking maybe every once in a while, let's take a few minutes and answer a few questions. So from yesterday's video, Carol asked, she's from Ohio. Greetings from Ohio, back to normal yet in PA? No mask, are your restaurants open yet? Yes, the restaurants are open. I think it's like 50 or 75% capacity. The mask order is still in effect, but nobody's really doing that. I mean, some people still are, but a lot of people aren't. I think that's quickly going away. And I mentioned in yesterday's video, we went to a graduation party. Things are slowly getting back to normal, which is really, really nice. Another question from Chris Knight. Looks to me that the Kubota bounces a little more than the RK did. Might be the camera angle or something. Anyway, good job. I think what Chris saw was when I was spreading that 2A limestone out of the bucket and the tractor was bouncing a little bit. That was my fault. Not really my fault. It's nearly impossible to pour that 2A limestone like you can 2B limestone. 2B limestone is the clean rock, and I can just lay it on there an inch thick if you want it. But the 2A limestone, it comes out kind of in clumps and in like waves, you know what I'm saying? So when you see the tractor hopping like that, it's because I had just dumped a bucket of stone there, and you get this kind of effect, which makes the tractor do that. So you've seen a lot of videos where I'm pouring that clean rock real nice and smooth. That's 2B limestone. 2A limestone's a little bit more difficult. Normally what I'll do, dump a couple buckets of that, and then I'll push it with the you know, back drag it, or use the land plane in reverse or something like that. So that's the reason for that. No, the tractor doesn't bounce. A lot of people were commenting about Melissa calling me Michael. She never does that unless it's serious, and she does not like snakes at all. If you saw that last video, there's a little garter snake right there by the house. I'm not a fan of them either. I mean, I don't mind a snake if I see one like over there and I see them first. It's when you walk up on them or all of a sudden they're right there. Not a fan of them, but like garter snakes, black snakes, they really don't hurt anything. And a lot of people ask too, do we have rattlesnakes around here? Not in this area, we don't. You gotta go a little further north and northeast, there's a bunch of rattlesnakes, but right in this area we don't have any for now. Josh Miller says, I hope Bunyan is on. Everything else has been canceled so far. There's an event in Sheffield, PA called the Johnny Appleseed. I'm hoping it's still on. Haven't heard anything yet. I haven't heard anything yet about Bunyan being canceled. As far as I know, it's still on. And if it is, we will definitely be there Friday and Saturday. That's in October in Ohio. So I think we'll be there. I do. I think it'll be on. I don't think they'll cancel that. That's just me talking. I have no idea. But everything's kind of getting back to normal right now. Ohio hasn't been quite as bad as Pennsylvania as far as closing things down. So I'm hoping Paul Bunyan is on, and I'm hoping to see a bunch of there if it is. Tom Weber wants to know, Mike, question for you. At the end of the culvert pipe, is that going to wash out the road, or is there more work to be done? I should put, and I probably will, another 22.5 on there, but there's a ditch right there, and I noticed the other day we got some real heavy rains, and I went down there and it didn't come out on the driveway, it went right down the ditch, but as an added precaution, I may put like a 22.5 in there to kind of direct that water down the ditch. And a lot of people are asking about that driveway, and I think I mentioned it earlier in this video. That is my sister's driveway. It goes up to the old homestead on the property here, and you know, you come up off the road, my sister's driveway goes one way, my mom's goes the other way. Jay Curtis Dickinson, he said, hi Mike and Melissa, enjoy your videos. I noticed in video 803 at 6 minutes, we had a power telephone line easement going through your property. How often do you clear out the brush underneath it? And are you responsible for that or another party? Stay safe. I think that's down by the brick house. There's a power line, not a real big one, goes through one piece of the property, and the power company maintains that. Every couple years they'll bring a machine in and mow underneath it and trim back any limbs. Matter of fact, the last time they did that, I mean, they're in there for days trimming all these limbs and everything, and we had a storm right after they left and a whole tree fell over, knocked the wires down, power was out again. You're never going to get them all. That's something I want to talk about, by the way. You always see me on this channel, you know, we're brush hogging, we're mowing grass, we're cutting trees. I couldn't imagine living places like certain places out west, when we travel out there, there's hardly any grass, hardly any trees. It's beautiful country, but I'm thinking, my goodness, what do you do with your time? I mean, that's all we do around here this time of year. Everything is just growing, you know what I mean? You're trimming the trails back, you're cutting grass, you're brush hogging, just tons of work to do. And I love the trees, I do. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but you know, areas like this, it's a lot of work to just maintain it. It really is. JB Brown, he says, that is quite a Ford pickup. You can haul a rake in it if you leave the handle hanging out of the back. JB's always taking shots at my Ford truck. I've seen him do that before. I'll say this, I'll say two things. Number one, I don't care what anybody drives, that's up to you. But number two, I love that truck, I do. I think it is perfect for our family and for what we do around here. I can tow my dump trailer with it. You know, if I was doing that every day, I'd have a 3/4 ton. But you know, there may be 2 or 3 weeks go by before I use it, and then I'll use it 2 or 3 days in a row. But that truck's super comfortable. It gets decent mileage, and it's super fast too. That 3.5 liter twin turbo EcoBoost. I was always the 5 liter guy. I love the 5 liter Ford engine. That one was a game changer. It is. That thing screams, but I really like that truck. Matter of fact, I don't know why anyone, I'm not saying it had to be a Ford, but if you've got a family, a little bit of property, you're kind of a do-it-yourselfer, I don't know why you'd have any other vehicle besides a crew cab pickup truck. I don't know, but that's just me. A lot of people were saying thanks for the tip about the Steel Woods band. They are good. That's a very good band. We did that premiere video this past Friday night, and then immediately following that video there was a live concert by the Steel Woods band. You should check them out. They're really a good band. I really like their music. James Halliday said when we were planting the grass down there, noticed you didn't use the cultipacker. Did you not have it anymore, or is it not worth the extra step? Just curious, as I have been thinking of getting one. My opinion, James, it depends where you live and what your soil's like. Around here, like when I till up a food plot with a tiller, I used to use the cultipacker on top of it to set the seed. I don't even do that anymore. I just broadcast it on there. We have really good soil, and it fluffs, you know, it gets real fluffed up. And lay that seed on the top, and the first rainfall, it kind of sets the seed. And I've had real good results just doing that. But some places, I think it's pretty important, you know, that you do have a cultipacker. All kind of depends on your soil, but that's just my opinion. A lot of people commenting about that little garter snake. That's what we call them around here. I think some people may call those corn snakes, but I mentioned before, we don't have rattlesnakes here. Garter snakes, black snakes, things like that. Now those black snakes, they can get kind of nasty. We get some 5-6 feet long around here, and a couple years ago I had to kill 2 of them. They got in the house. Well, sort of. Oh, what a story that was. I came home from work and I'm walking in the garage, and there's the house kind of cantilevers out over a little bit, and I just happened to look up, and the downspout, the gutter, it comes down, the downspout wraps around down to the ground. Well, right up there was a piece of soffit that was hanging down just a little bit, and there was this black snake, half inside the soffit, half kind of curled up on the downspout, and it was a big one, right? So I'm like, man, what do I do? So I went and got a 22, and I told Melissa, everyone on that side of the house, get on that side of the house. And I was trying not to put too many holes in the house, but I shot the thing, I hit him right in the head, and I'm like, oh, I got him. But it went back in there a little bit under that overhang. So I'm like, oh, he's dead, you know. So I get up there with a ladder, and I had a piece of rebar, and I pull that soffit down, and I reach back there, and I'm gonna pull the snake out. Well, as soon as I touched it, it starts like rolling around in there, and it went back in there further. It was hours to get that snake out of there. I ended up, there's insulation hanging in the trees. I had to rip all the soffit down on that side of the house before I could get that snake out. And then it wasn't 2 days later, there was another one in the same spot, and I got that one. I killed that one as well. But we used to have pine trees there right in front of the house, and they'd go up those trees, and there's that little opening in the soffit, and that's how they got in there. But so I kind of tried to keep the trees away from the house a little bit, you know, the shrubs and things like that. They just seem to always bring in more critters is what happens, and none of us are big fans of having snakes in the house. I don't care if you like them or not. Not a good place for them to be. But anyway, I see my little red light flashing on the camera, which means my battery's about to die. So like I always say, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button, click subscribe, and share them with your friends. Thanks.